Hey, what's up? You're watching Dave the Hearing Aid Guy. Today I'm gonna review the Audien Atom hearing aids. These are Audien's second cheapest hearing aids. They sell for 99 bucks. They're small, rechargeable, in-ear hearing aids. How they sound, how they look, and if they're worth the money, I'll show you in a second, coming up. Hello again, my name is Dave and I'm a hearing professional with plus 20 years of experience in fitting hearing aids, and today I'll review the Audien Atom hearing aids. I already made a video about the Audien Atom Pro hearing aids and I was not too happy with their performance, so today I'll have a look at the Audien Atoms, which are Audien's second cheapest hearing aids. They sell for $99 per pair, and as you can see, those are small CIC hearing aids. They are completely in the ear canal, at least they're meant to be. They are rechargeable and they go for 20 hours with one charge. This little charger takes 4 to 6 hours to fully charge the hearing aids, and it is magnetic, which helps you put them in the charger and also keeps them safe. So those devices are a little bigger than the Audien Atom Pro hearing aids, and we'll find out how they look when wearing, but let's first see what's in the box.
Now let's have a look at the hearing aids. They come in this box. Warning signs, more warnings. Okay, so let's see. Okay, we have these small info cards, and I really like those info cards because they're short and sweet. 3 weeks to better hearing. It's true that when you're using hearing aids for the first time, you need some days to adapt, and 3 weeks is quite a good range to get used to those hearing aids. But keep in mind, you only have a 45-day trial period, so after 3 days you should be you should know if you want to keep them or not. Okay, so need help. User manual, of course, all the stuff you need. And here we are. What do we have here in this small bag? Okay, hearing aids are in this bag. We'll have a look at this later. This is a charger, obviously. Plug in the cable. Extra filters, very good. Multi-tool. And extra ear domes. Nice. Okay, so let's have a closer look at one of those hearing aids. If I manage to open this bag, come on. This is not as easy as I thought. So, okay, here they are. Now, what do we have here? We have the microphone opening here, charging contacts. This is to adjust the volume, plus and minus, on and off. The small handle here to pull the hearing aid out of your ear. They come assembled with an ear dome. The white thing here is the wax filter, and you can just pull it off so as far as well. What else do we have? Serial number, of course. Well, that's it more or less. And now let's see. We can turn it on. Works. And of course we can adjust the volume here. And if you use those hearing aids for the first time, I recommend starting with a lower volume, and then you can rise the volume if you feel you need a little bit more, but don't start with a high volume, start with a low volume. Okay, yeah, that's pretty fine. And you can just put it in here. Doesn't matter if it's left or right. And those hearing aids are also the same for the left ear and for the right ear, so you can use it either way. That's pretty easy.
Those hearing aids come with a quick start guide. We saw it in the unboxing scene, and the quick start guide tells you how to set up the hearing aids and also tells you to clean your ears and remove earwax from your ears before trying them. And I don't really agree with this, because what most people will do is they take a cotton stick like this here and try to put out the earwax out of their ears. But what happens is most of them shove the earwax into your ear. So if you ask any hearing professional, they all will tell you don't use these ear sticks. I would recommend you go and see an audiologist or ENT. They should check your hearing and clean your ears, and then you're ready to go and try the Audien Atom hearing aids. If you're wearing these hearing aids for the first time, the first thing you want to do is adjust the volume to your needs. So you can do this by turning this small wheel here with the plus and minus symbol, and you can turn it with the multi-tool which comes with the hearing aids. It's basically a small screwdriver, and if you turn it to the right it gets louder, to the left it's less loud. And I strongly recommend starting with less amplification and then go louder if you feel that you need a little bit more. Then you put it in your ear, and this small antenna here should face downwards, and many people refer to it as an antenna. In fact, it's just a pull wire to get the hearing aid out of your ears again. Okay, now we have the hearing aid in the ear. We switch the power switch to on, and it works. And if you're finished with the hearing, just turn it off and take it out of your ear. So there's only one hearing program in these hearing aids, so there's no way to switch through different hearing programs. You can only adjust the overall volume here. So the second thing, if you feel like you don't really feel the on and off button on the hearing aid, you can of course turn it on when you're not wearing the hearing aid. Then put it in your ear. You will get some feedback now. And it also works like this, whatever you prefer, but you have to brace yourself for feedback when you are putting an amplifying hearing aid in your ear. Same when you take it out. Now, how do these hearing aids look while wearing? Well, let's see. Okay, just 1 second. You know, I'm making these videos for you, and I hope you get a ton of information and value out of them. So if you like these videos, please do me a favor to like it and subscribe to my channel. It would mean the world to me and motivate me to make more videos for you. Thank you so much. So, okay. As you can see here, those hearing aids sit pretty deep in my ear canal, but I have to say that I have a pretty huge ear canal, and you can fit a lot in my ears. So for most people, these hearing aids will stick out quite a bit, and you can also see it on Audien's homepage. They have some marketing photos with people wearing their hearing aids, and at most photos the hearing aids stick out like this. Well, not in my case, so that's fine for me. They sit pretty well. They sit deep in my ear canal, and let me turn them on. Even with high volume, I hardly got any feedback. Only when I took phone calls, then I got some feedback, because the phone came close to my ears, but for most situations they were pretty fine, surprisingly fine. Honestly, I expected more feedback, but well, they worked pretty well, at least for me. And you can always adjust the fit of the hearing aids with the eardrums that come with the hearing aids. So if they have a good fit, like in my case, you won't really feel them while wearing, but of course you will get some feedback because those hearing aids don't have proper feedback management like prescription hearing aids. But for those very basic amplifiers, they work pretty well. So how about the sound quality of those hearing aids? Well, honestly, better than expected. Okay, I didn't expect much of those hearing aids, but they're really better than expected. I mean, you have one overall volume and those hearing aids amplify every sound around you. So if you have speech in a quiet environment, it works pretty well. If you close a door, if you hear footsteps on the ground, if you put a glass on the table, these noises are pretty loud, so that's not so good. And if you have many voices in one room, like in a conference or meeting or whatever, it's absolutely not good. It's much too loud. So that's because you only have one overall volume and you only have one hearing program. You can switch through different hearing programs, so that's the reason for that. But of course you can handle that. So if you're in a quiet environment with one person talking to you, these hearing aids work really good. If you're in a noisy environment with lots of noise or other voices or whatever, these hearing aids are not so good and you will experience issues understanding speech in noisy environments. Now, how about the cheap Atom versus the higher quality Atom Pro hearing aids? Well, the Atom Pro comes with a portable charger and with noise reduction, but the noise reduction is not that good. And to my surprise, I enjoyed the fit and the sound of the Atom, the cheaper one, more than with the Atom Pro hearing aids. So that was pretty surprising for me. Maybe because I have bigger ears, maybe because I don't care if I have a portable charger or not. So I would go for the Audien Atom instead the Atom Pro, but that's just my opinion. So my conclusion of the Audien Atom hearing aids is that they are really small hearing aids. They fit surprisingly well and they are hardly noticeable while wearing. So they're rechargeable and they work for around 20 hours with one charge to bring you through the day with one charge. So that's pretty fine. The sound quality is also better than expected, but of course you have to realize that these are basic amplifier. You only have one thing to change, and that's the overall volume. There's no second or third hearing program, there's no other adjustment. You only have the overall volume. So if you want more amplification, you get more amplification for every noise around you. It's not only voices that are louder, it's footsteps that are louder, it's your keys that are louder, it's a window closing that's louder, it's many voices that are very loud. So you have to keep this in mind. And basically, as you can switch to different hearing programs, you can only adjust the volume with the one button on the hearing aid. They come with a 45-day money-back guarantee and 1-year warranty. So overall surprisingly good, especially for the price. However, I would only recommend them for one-on-one situations. If you're in a quiet room with one person talking, that's when they work really fine. And also for watching TV, I would not recommend them for wearing them in meetings or on a busy street, because then it's just loud. So that was another episode of Dave the Hearing Aid Guy. Please drop your questions in the comment section below and don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time. Bye.